always found the Liverpool lads very funny, and they were always taking the mickey, and they were happy and and bouncy, etc. And me, I was a very quiet person, and I tended to kind of stay in the background. I think through nerves more than anything. But from that first instant, I was then in the England setup for about 4 years after that, going right up to the Moscow Olympic squad, and it was part of that setup as well. And throughout the years, I'd swap clubs as well, because I felt it was better for me, because I felt I was stagnating and I needed to move on to a level where I could train and compete, and also have the right training and conditioning. Whereas I needed the technical ability now, where I had the kind of natural ability that was seeing me through an awful lot, and the fitness was seeing me through, but I needed that extra level. I'd actually got a taste of it now through being in London squads, through England squads, etc. And I teamed up with a guy called Freddie Barr down at the Kingston Boxing Club. From filming you during workouts, and then afterwards just working through your techniques and breaking it down, and I wasn't used to this, but he showed me. He was professional in an amateur way, a very professional outlook, which is what they're doing nowadays with the England team setups. And he was there, and I was so happy and pleased that, I don't know if I came to him or he came to me, but somewhere along the way we connected. And from being a very good club fighter, he took me to an international fighter, an international boxer actually, and then he worked on my strengths, and he took me to #1 spot, a #1 amateur in the ratings for the welterweights in the UK. Wow. In the UK, and some of the highlights, that I've had, boxing Lloyd Honeyghan, I had a points win over him, and also some very other tough fighters as well. And I don't think I would have done that unless I had the support and the know-how and the encouragement of the trainers, not just the current trainer at that time, but also from way back, because I carried their strength and encouragement with me. For me, some people have said, it was the fights with Honeyghan, but not for me. It would be the win over the American when the New York team came over. That was 77, 78, and it was a crack squad. It was a complete crack squad, and I remember being pulled in after Terry Marsh pulled out, and that previous weekend, the weigh-in was on the Sunday, and on the Friday night I'd gone down to Stoke to box against the Army, but my opponent was on firefighting duty, so I had to come all the way back again, and I actually got the milk train, the long train back from Stoke, and I remember arriving at Euston around about 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and that night, about 6 o'clock, 6:30 that night, my trainer called to say I'd been offered a chance to box against the New York squad for London. He said, don't eat anything. He said, the weigh-in's in the morning. So I hadn't eaten that day because I was catching up on my sleep, and I had to make the weight a lightweight, because I was a light welterweight, and I had to make the lightweight to drop down a weight because of the Terry Marsh dropped out for, I think he was injured, and I had to make 9'9", and I think I was about 10 bang on 10 stone, 13 or something like that. And I remember going down to the London squad HQ about 3 hours before the weigh-in, and I made the weight. I think I was an ounce or two just over, and the American coach said, "Yeah, we'll have that." But when I beat the American, he said, "We're claiming the fight on a forfeit. You were overweight." But the other great thing for me was my dad was there. They allowed me one ticket, and I gave it to my dad, and he sat in the background. And there was lots of pluses for this for me. Why I'm saying it is the most memorable fight for me. I was the first London guy to win after 4 consecutive knockouts. All the Americans won, and I stopped the rot. I'd gone in there, and also it was my debut for London as well, and I won on a unanimous with 2 American judges and an English judge. So I was very pleased with myself and the performance that I put up, and also what I remember about it as well is a lovely man called Walter Bartleman, a journalist for the Standard, came in to see me afterwards, you know, and he asked me a few questions, and he was just a gentleman, and what he wrote about me afterwards, you know, was very nice, and I always remember that, and I've always remembered him since then. You know, he was always very nice to me, and so for me that was the most memorable fight for me, or contest.